The title, 7 Levels of High, that is very, watching a video of it, it feels wrong. And that's interesting to a lot of people.
For level 2, we have Baked.
So baked, I think, is the more common term for the video like this. And I think that is the best segue into the next title, which is the pooping one. That's a pretty unique story, right? Mostly true so far from what I can tell is a genius creative, an animator, and an amazing storyteller that does short form, 3, 5 minutes, 7 minutes. His new format, it's skyrocketing, and I'm not an animator, so I'm going to break down and analyze this after 12 years of being on YouTube. I'm going to give you guys the details and secrets as to why these videos are gaining so many views. 19 million views, but the thing is, 8 months ago, he was at 0. I did not know that there was even 7 levels of high, but I can appreciate that he's explaining this to us. And the first one is toasted. He looks like an actual muffin.
At this level, you'll still be able to function normally, but you'll just be...
Okay, so I mean, this is going pretty fast actually. Let's hold on for just a second. First of all, the branding and the topic are right on point. For one, he's not an actual human being as far as what he is presenting to us. He's presenting an animated character. Any one of us could be this character, and we could be related to this story. If you. So right off the bat, if you understand English and the basic objects that he's using, you will understand this video to a certain extent. The topic of this itself isn't something that you'd necessarily see garnering so much attention. So watching a video of it, it feels wrong, and that's interesting to a lot of people. Baked, I think, is the more common term for the video like this. So who does not know what a burger, Doritos, or a gorilla are? There aren't words on the screen, you are hearing him, it's almost like a podcast, so not only can you listen to this if you know what he's saying, but you can also just look at how simple this is and it gets the point across. It's relatable. Why is there just one totally blonde person in the middle? Roasted and buffering because you cannot even understand what is going on, you can't fathom.
Next up, we have level 4, Sautéed. Sentences are relics of the past. It now requires all of your energy just to form words.
Even just the way that he says these things, sautéed. And we don't really need the change of scenery as much as we would like someone like Ryan Trahan that I have posted about. You know, and you're expecting 7 different stories, but the storytelling and the comedic flair is from this guy doing his own personal twist on what these stories are. You might have a different way of telling them and it might be more boring, and same goes for me. And I think that is the best segue into the next title, the pooping one. That's a pretty unique story, right? This is his talk show too. It's an animated talk show. All of these stories are very different, sort of like someone that we know, Mr. Beast. He does a lot of different things for each of his videos, and it doesn't really determine how well they do.
Then after I was done with the pooping part, I would climb up onto the sink counter.
Okay, before he... oh no, he's like bending over in front of the mirror. One of the things that this guy does really well is establish himself into a relatable story. All of us probably have experienced some sort of version of this, but attaching your own experience to it makes it less embarrassing for somebody else that might have experienced this. And that part is really entertaining to watch. You would never assume that, so seeing somebody else admit it is, I guess, scandalous. Appalling. It is appalling. See, even saying I took a nice straddle stance, because without that comedic twist, he's just talking about taking a nasty poop, and it's not funny at all, and it's just like unnecessary to put this in the format that it is. But he knows that, and this twist makes it that lighthearted joke.
And then bend over, look between my legs directly at my butthole in the mirror.
He looked directly in his butthole. It goes into the smallest things like these Arizona cans. That's such it's a personality-based brand. He's being relatable, universal, and unique all at the same time. That's totally a preference. You could probably put Snapple. Yeah. Or like I would put Dr. Pepper or something. It makes it feel like he's an actual person talking to us, even though we know it's just a voice and an animated. Alright, does that look a little bit better? I kind of fixed the light and put that right there, and that was for you. My first night living in San Francisco, he's wearing his weed beanie, and it looks like some tents and homeless people, so...
This video was sponsored by Manscaped.
Ooh, right off the bat, you guys, wow, okay, sponsored. This video is sponsored. This guy is not only making AdSense money now, but he is making brand deal money, and that's the money that matters. Let's just have a,
You know, San Francisco is a lot different than where we're from. It's pretty dangerous out there, so don't go wandering around by yourself at night. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, that's how I
What do
felt
you know
about living
the
in
street?
Manhattan. And there's an air mattress on the floor. That's an air mattress, right? No, it's not. That's a very specific list. He really likes Doritos. I have personally been to San Francisco 0 times, I believe. I went to California once when I was younger. He's doing this again. He's attaching his own experience to something that, well, everybody would like a good road trip, right? I mean, I'm speaking for you. We would all love a road trip. I would like a road trip. And moving somewhere after you have grown up a little bit and you want to pursue other things in life, that is something that a lot of us do. Not only did he attach a brand deal to this, but he also succeeded again in making this personal, but also making it relatable. He has told us that he likes tons of beating up nerds and motorcycles from when he was younger.
All too familiar with. I walked past a couple of dudes who seemed to be taking a dump in some sort of invisible toilet on the sidewalk. Never really seen anything like it.
Well, okay. I see, like, that kind of stuff all the time here in New York City. That was an experience I had 2 months in here.
Be looking over here too much. You maybe look over here a little bit, but y'all are doing too much looking. And they both nod at each other.
That's so awkward. I would just run if I was being approached like that. What he is really good at is simplicity in both telling the stories and developing the composition of what they should look like. In this animation that he made for an animation, there is complete composition. You can see the street, it's total perspective, it's at scale as well because the light posts are obviously above them and the light is beaming down towards, and he doesn't even need to be in the videos.
So I'm considering all my options. Well, I am a green belt in karate, or maybe it was a yellow belt.
That's funny because I wasn't in karate, I was in taekwondo. I tried to kick someone in the head like that when I was in 2nd grade and it did not go well.
And he pulls out a $20 bill, and he goes, "Yo, man, do you want to jack off with us?"
Are they approaching him for a threesome at 3 a.m.? 2 dudes? When making YouTube videos, one of the main things that we practice is tension and release points. Mr. Beast and Ryan Trahan are 2 examples that I've talked about in this video where they have mastered that because it is climactic moments that keep you wanting to need to know what happens next. Withholding information and knowing how to tell it in a way that is interesting, that's these videos here. But his aren't so much as action-packed or extreme challenge-based.
Look at these balls. Do you see a single hair on them? No.
This is his ad placement, and it's one of the best examples that you should follow. Not only is he talking about his parts, but he is seamlessly tying the brand deal and the product that he's trying to sell affiliate. The transition was seamless because it is a type of story that he would tell in his own way. That is where 19 million views came from in 8 months. The format and repetition of that.